Hello?
Hello, hello, baby, you called, I can't hear a thing. What you didn't study for AP history. Don't worry, we made this song so you will just be fine. It'll help you study cause you gotta get a 5. You gotta get a 5. You gotta get a 5. It'll help you study cause you gotta get a 5. First Chris Columbus landed here in 1492. He conquered all the natives and declared this world new. Soon everybody wanted a piece of this new world he found. Towns like Roanoke and Jamestown suddenly came around. Stop stressing, you don't need to stress anymore. We got you covered in this APUSH score. Stop stressing, you don't need to stress anymore. Listen to the song and get out on the dance floor. Stop stressing out on the it's history, AP history. Pilgrims came over on the Mayflower to start a colony of their own. Great migration caused Puritans to call this great new land their home. But the English monarchy got way too strong and started to take everyone on. All this grabbed guns and marched around, and we had ourselves a revolution.
Colonists wanted round up and wrote the Constitution. First president was George Washington. After him was John Adams. Henry Clay wrote the Great Compromise and slave just counted 3 to 5. Jefferson came to office and made Louisiana purchase.
Industrial Revolution hit through the War of 1812, and 19 years later we had an abolition movement. Tensions between the North and South were getting pretty high, cause there were slaves above the 3630 line. 3630 line, Brook, Missouri Compromise. Kansas and Nebraska had a big old bloody fight. Stop stressing, you don't need to stress anymore. We got you covered in this APUSH war. Stop stressing, you don't need to stress anymore. Listen to the song and get out on the dance floor. Stop stressing, you don't need to stress anymore. We got you covered in this APUSH war. Stop stressing, you don't need to stress anymore. Listen to the song and get out on the dance floor. I'm stressing out on that. It's a story. AP history. Civil war broke out from the North and South. They decided there'd be slaves or not, so Lincoln went ahead and passed the Emancipation Proclamation. When the war ended and the North had won, we had to do some reconstruction. Technology, big industries, and immigrants were changes that had newly come. Technology, big industries, and immigrants were changes that had newly come. First World War begun, and with the help of Wilson, we stayed out of the war for as long as we could. The Germans published the Zimmermann Note.
The number you have reached is not in service at this time. Please check the number or try your call again.
When World War I ended, we had a few good progressive years, until the Great Depression hit and reduced everyone to tears. FDR came into office and said we had nothing to fear. He had a plan to help us out, it was called the New Deal. Called the New Deal, called the New Deal. He had a plan to help us out, it was called the New Deal. The New Deal brought up lots of great new organizations, like the TVA and National Recovery Administration. But in Germany, Hitler rose to power and everyone was afraid. World War II then began and the US tried to stay away. Stop stressing, you don't need to stress anymore. We got you covered in this APUSH war. Stop stressing, you don't need to stress anymore. Sing for this song and get out on the dance floor. Stop stressing out on that. It's history. AP history. December 7th.
But Russia and America are really bad relations. Both fear optimization, Cold War sweeps the nation. Fear of communism on the rise, so true without criticize. We will help any country stop communism from happening.
The U.S. enters a war with Korea and Vietnam to try to contain communism in the Viet Cong. Henry Kissinger comes up with a plan for the Dante to end with Russia and China an arms race of bombs. Arms race of bombs. And we accuse Nixon of taking part in running the Watergate scandal. Jimmy Carter is president, and in 78 he gets peace between Egyptians and Israelis. 1 year later, USSR invades Afghan. Reagan beats Carter in the 80 election. Jimmy Carter's president, and in 78 he gets peace between Egyptians and Israelis. 1 year later, USSR invades Afghan. Reagan beats Carter in the 80 election. He takes office in 1992. He gets impeached for lying about Lewinsky. Showdown in the election of 2000 between Al Gore and George Bush comes down to FL, so they do a recount and Supreme Court gives it to George Bush. He invades Afghan because terrorists attacked on a day that we call 911. Then he even Iraq because we think that they have some nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons. And in 2009, the US is in a bind because we have a bad recession. But one great thing happened in 2008. Barack Obama becomes the first black president forever in history.